Hi, Diana. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
You can hear me well, right?
Yes, I can.
All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
All right. All right. Let's go get started since we're right on target. All right. During this session, I will not answer a specific question about a homework, but I will answer any concept associated with a homework problem. And we can work out a different problem that you can use to transfer the knowledge. Because what happens is if I solve a specific problem, you lose interest right away. You don't find it challenging. And so later when you have a question on that same problem, you go back to the homework solution and you see, no, I don't understand why we did what we did, okay? Is that clear to everybody? All right. So I will not answer a specific problem on the homework, like the exact replica of it, but I will work out a different concept, all right? So
Okay.
I'll open the house to questions. So anybody that has encountered any problems that you think are difficult for you to solve, either on the quiz or homework for either week 2, or if you already started week 3, then week 3 as well, all right? So I'll go ahead and open the questions. I know I teach the same concept in my regular in-seat class, and some students still are struggling. I mean, for them, they have plenty of time than you guys. They have problems with either the atomic size sorting or ionization energy sorting or electronegativity sorting, all right? So I'll go ahead and open the questions. Let's start with week 2 questions before we go and answer any week 3, if at all you're in week 3. All right.
I'm having problems with the ionization sorting. I guess I'm looking at them and they're getting confusing because
All right.
one says goes from left to right, it increases, and from top to bottom. I've written them down and look at them, but I can't get them straight.
All right, so I think Diana just summarized it, so it's very good. So ionization energy, okay. I'm just gonna write what Diana said, and that's the rule, and this is the rule, and that stays the same. Ionization energy increases, okay, across the periodic table. I'm gonna call it PD, and the same ionization energy decreases as you travel down the period, okay, decreases down the periodic table, okay. Now let me go get my periodic table and put it up on the screen so that you know that may answer some questions some of you might have. I'm going to go get my periodic table and put it on the screen so that I can answer some of your questions a little better than just being half thought about it. All right, let's go get the periodic table, come back to our smooth draw. All right, so this is my periodic table. Okay. I'm gonna actually see if I can minimize this somehow even better. Okay, let me push this to the side so I can. So let's pick elements that we can already see on the screen. Okay, you can probably see it. I don't want to show the entire periodic table because that gives me no time, no place to write anything. So if there's 2 kinds of questions I've asked on the homework and the quizzes. One of them is the element by itself, and one of them is the ions. Okay, there's 2 different things. All right, so let's focus first on the element. So let's pick a few elements. Now here's the thing, people seem to be doing it fine when they ask me questions over email. If the elements are either right next to each other, left to right, or if they're right below, okay? The problem of sorting only starts when elements are scattered across the periodic table, all right? So to make things a little easy for some of you, I'm gonna pick only elements in the first 3 rows. So let's say we pick hydrogen, beryllium, magnesium, aluminum, nitrogen, sulfur, okay? Let's write these elements down. So let me go get a different color. All right, so these are the elements I picked, and I want you to sort them from the smallest to the largest, and I believe I picked 6 elements. So let me write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, okay? This is the smallest, and this is the largest, ionization energy, okay? So as I said, this is the sequence you will have, but I don't want you to go straight to the sequence and start putting things together. You want to first do a rough sketch like somewhere here. So let me go get my eraser, and I'm going to erase this area here so I have space to write. All this is recorded, by the way, so it's also in my video, so you don't need to worry. It's already there. So I'm going to erase so I have space to work with. Okay, now even whether the sequence is long or small, it doesn't matter. I don't really want you to go put things right away in the sequence. Instead, what I want you to do is actually do like a rough sketch of something. All right, so these are the elements we have. We have hydrogen, beryllium, magnesium, aluminum, nitrogen, and sulfur. All right, now the rule clearly states that ionization energy decreases down the columns, like as you go down the periodic table from top to bottom, and it increases from left to right as you sweep from left of the periodic table to the right. All right, always pick one element and then anchor everybody else around it. So let's say I pick beryllium. Okay, hydrogen is above beryllium, right?
Right.
As you can see clearly, it's above beryllium. So hydrogen has a higher ionization energy. So it's going to go to the right, right? We're starting from smallest to largest, right? I'm trying to get the sequence, but I don't want to go directly put in those blank spaces. And then where is magnesium with respect to beryllium?
It's below.
Right? So it's going to have a lesser ionization energy, right? All right, we got 3 sorted out. We got only 3 more to go. Now, if you notice, it really doesn't matter which element you start, you'll have the correct sequence in the end. Okay, so nitrogen, okay, is below hydrogen, but it's to the right of beryllium, right? If I go sweep across, beryllium, nitrogen is to the right of beryllium, right? So would it have a higher ionization energy than beryllium or lesser ionization energy than beryllium?
Higher.
All right, so but would it be less than hydrogen or would it be more than hydrogen?
Less than hydrogen.
Very good. So I'm just going to put my nitrogen for time being here. Okay, we get a different color so we can switch colors around. All right, so we got nitrogen done as well on the list. Now aluminum. Now aluminum is below both beryllium and nitrogen, right? So would it have more ionization energy than beryllium and nitrogen, or would it have less?
More.
More or less? Aluminum.
It's going down. Decrease.
Yeah, it's going down. It decreases, right?
Okay.
Less. So it would be below both beryllium and nitrogen, but would it be above magnesium or would it be below magnesium? Like, would it be lower ionization energy compared to magnesium, or would it be more?
More.
More. Very good, Diana. So it is below beryllium and nitrogen, but it's definitely above magnesium, right? Now, where is sulfur? Well, it's past aluminum, right? But it's still below hydrogen, beryllium, and nitrogen, right? So it's going to be somewhere here.
Okay.
Right? Now we have our sequence. This is our sequence. So this is the smallest. So I'm going to label them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There we go. So this is what I highly recommended, and this is the way I explained in the video, at least for people starting off. Now for me, it's different. I can just go put it in the sequence, but I don't expect you to do that, and this is the easier way. Now let's get our black color back and come and start filling the electrons. So magnesium, aluminum, sulfur, beryllium. Okay, I may have missed one more, so let me get my red back again. There's one more space I need. There's one more, so let me go get my black back. So nitrogen and hydrogen. Does that make sense, Samantha?
Yes.
Okay, now here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave this, and I mean, you can write it, I'll give you time to write it down. And then I'm gonna throw in a bunch of elements on the screen. I'm gonna get rid of the periodic table because we will need more space. But trust me, all this is recorded, so it will be available on Moodle later today sometime. So did you all write down the sequence?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to delete these. Now I'm not even going to look at the periodic table. I'm just going to assign you, okay, just give you a question on a bunch of elements and have you work it out while you have me here, and then you tell me what the sequence, okay? Sort the following, forgive my handwriting, okay, that's not very good. Sort the following elements in the order of, and normally when I start to write on this tablet, the first 5 minutes, it's a little bit jittery, and then after that, it starts to become normal. In the order of increasing ionization energy. So this is the question. And if you notice, there may be a question very similar to this on the homework. I cannot do the exact homework problem because then you will just copy it and you will not really know the whole concept later. All right, I'm just going to throw in some elements here. I'm not even looking at the periodic table. Please do not confuse this. This is titanium, not TL, tantalum. Okay, this is titanium, Ti. And all right, here we go. This is long enough because we do have other things to cover. So I'll give you about 2 minutes, okay? Okay, so you're going to sort from the smallest ionization energy, so smallest. And when you have the correct answer, let me know. We have 3, 6, 8 elements. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. This will be your largest. Take 2 minutes. All you need is your periodic table and the rule. These are just regular elements, so you don't need to even worry about ions. So take a couple of minutes, and then I'll come back and ask one of you if you have the sequence done. Then just tell me what the sequence is, and I'll write it down, and then we can talk about it. As I said, anchor one element and you'd be pretty much on your way to complete this. That's the easiest way to do this. You got to pick any element and anchor everybody else around it. And that will make life so much easier than trying to sort it out right from the get-go in the right sequence. If you're struggling, I wouldn't recommend you do that.
Yes.
All right, let's go get, does anyone have the actual sequence?
I've got them.
All right, tell me, Diana.
I don't know if they're right, but.
Oh, no, let's not worry about it. We're going to get
Okay.
the sequence and then we'll help you if you have any difficulties. All right.
Okay. BA.
Okay.
W.
Okay.
TI.
Okay.
CA.
Okay.
CR.
Okay.
AL.
Okay.
S-I-N.
Okay. Okay. So let's bring the periodic table really quick back. I don't want to bring the periodic table, but I will just look at it really quick. All right, calcium and chromium. All right. I know why I asked that is it's because of this. All right. Okay. Very good. So let me get the periodic table one more time. So, all right. Here's my problem with your sequence, Diana. Samantha, do you have one for us? Is it the same or is it slightly different?
It's different.
All right. Tell me what it is.
I got AL.
AL at the very bottom. Tell me just like from the largest, from the smallest.
Yeah, I messed up. I see where I've messed up at. So.
No problem. It's I think I have 8 spaces, I believe. 3, 6, 8. All right. Do you have a sequence for me then? Just tell me, okay?
No.
There is nothing wrong with it. Only when
no.
Oh, calcium should have been. Well, that's right.
Yeah. Now you see it, Diana. Do you see it? You see a mistake?
No, not yet. I don't. I have to look at it.
All right. I'm going to give you a clue. Focus this area right here in blue.
Okay.
That's where I think, at least at this point, when I briefly looked at it, I think that's where you've made the mistake. Otherwise, I think it looks pretty right. But again, on these questions, you don't get partial credit on the homework because that means you still don't know the concept. Yes, Diana. Otherwise, you're right. Okay. This portion, this looks good. This looks good. It's the center area. So do you have a sequence for me, Diana? Sorry.
So I think the calcium goes before the TI and the CR. Should be,
This?
And then...
Yeah, then the rest is right.
And I think the CR is supposed to go next to the calcium.
Is it? I thought CR comes after. CR comes after TI, remember? So how can it go in front of it? What you're suggesting me is calcium, CR, and TI, right? That's incorrect.
Yeah, calcium should have been switched.
Yeah, calcium and TI are the only ones needs to be switched, right?
TI, where is the T? But TI is down. It said
decreases. That is
down.
exactly what I was saying. You're looking at TL, not TI.
Okay. Yeah.
TL is not same as
TI is not the same thing. You're right. I see what I did now.
Okay. So let me write the correct sequence. Samantha, do you want to give us the sequence now? Or do you have it already?
I see what I did.
Or let's do this. If you have made a mistake, after I write the correct sequence, tell me which part you got wrong, okay? That's the only way you're going to learn these things correctly, okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and actually write the correct sequence. So it's BA. Well, I understand your confusion, Diana. That's why when I wrote it, you see the I.
Yeah, you said that. Mm-hmm.
I wrote it. Students do get that confused. So this is the correct sequence. Now, we've done 2 examples. I think if you put them together, you may actually have one of the homework problems kind of, we have done 2 different ways of doing it. Now, Samantha, since you're here, where did you got wrong, or if you did at all?
So I messed myself up. Okay. I put, I was just, the way I was thinking, I put all, like the AL on the wrong side.
Okay. All right.
So I see where I made the mistake.
Now, I will not change this format for the exam or any other time because this is the way I've taught it. It's always going to be from smallest to largest for any of the concepts, okay?
Okay.
So that's how you do ionization energy. So this is the correct sequence. Are we good?
Yes.
All right. Let's take. I can give you a couple of seconds to write down if you don't want to go back later, look at the video. but I do recommend you look at the video, but you don't have to if you don't want to. But again, let me move this further to the side. All right, so with that said, let me go here and delete this. All right, what other questions do you have on the homework or quiz? Keep in mind your homework is due electronically. Now I can show you in the end how, if you have trouble with getting the file, I can show you how to create that file so you can submit it. And if you're a Mac user, I would definitely show that to you. If you're a Windows user, you will not have that problem. All right, time for next question. So this is question 2. So whenever you guys are ready, you can shoot me your question.
On some parts, I get a little confused on that valence orbital, especially when you got the plus and the minus.
Okay. Can you be a little bit more specific, Diana? When you mean valence orbital, what do you mean?
Well, like when you look at the periodic table and you go like the 7A.
Okay.
Sometimes when I get at the end, my answer don't get, the last numbers don't match up.
Like you mean the electronic configuration?
Mm-hmm. Right.
But can you tell me which element is it?
I had to change it. I think, let me see, I was writing it down. Hold on.
I'm guessing it's probably one of those elements on, probably down the periodic table, I'm going to guess.
I think that vanadium was one of them.
All right.
But we didn't have it on homework.
Let me see if I understood your question. You're saying that when you write your configuration, your valence electrons does not match the Roman numeral. Is that correct?
Right.
All right. So tell me what the atomic number of vanadium is.
It's 23.
Okay. So that means you have 23 protons and 23 electrons, right?
Right.
Now keep in mind, vanadium is a transition metal, right? So there is probably some shuffling involved. Maybe you're not doing that, so that's probably why. Now, if you keep in mind, vanadium is in the 4th period, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is what I mean by 4th period is 4th row. Okay?
Right.
All right. So this is just to do with the electronic. Ultimately, your question, comes down to, can you write a correct configuration? I think that's where you're not able to. And then can you tell me what the Roman numeral is on top of vanadium in your periodic table?
It's 5B.
5B, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. That means you got to have 5 valence electrons when you're done, okay? Right. Transition metals are a little tricky. All right. So first I'm going to write the incorrect sequence, okay? Which is 1s, 2s. You have to use the orbital sequence image that I gave you. Have you been using that, Diana?
Yes, I have.
All right. So this is what you should have had if you had followed the sequence, okay? Now, first, what I want you to do is write the incorrect sequence, fill it with electrons before you shuffle, okay?
Okay.
Because this is, again, I can do it without doing flipping or any of that, but that's because I have the experience, or probably people that are just starting out on these things, I expect you to write the incorrect sequence. Now, let's start filling the 23 electrons, okay? Now, how many can Hess hold?
2.
Okay, so it's 2, 2, 6, 2, 6, 2, and stop here and count how many you've got. I'm going to guess you've got 21 electrons, right? 10, right?
Got 20.
Sorry, 20, right? So we have 3 more needed, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, even what did I say? When you want to flip, the 3s goes with the 3s, the 4s goes with the 4s, and the sequence always have to be S, P, D, F, right?
Right.
Right. Now, what do we have to do is really a simple swap, okay? That means the 3D comes here, the 4S comes back here, right? So let's write our correct sequence in a different color so that you can see what I have done. You cannot remove or add electrons. The whole thing, it's like moving a mobile home from one place to the other. You don't need to, you cannot just move things around. All right, Diana, so this is the correct electronic configuration, or correct sequence, okay?
Okay.
Now, if you notice, I think in my video I explained when I did titanium. If you're having this difficulty again, go back and watch those 4 problems I posted. I think it's week 2, video 5. If you're having trouble with transition metals, I did a complete set of 4 or 5 element example. I think I did 4 examples. If you're looking for this specific trouble, you've got to go watch week 2, video 5, okay?
Okay.
All right, now if you notice, I got all these information from you and I know they are correct. So now if you notice, you said the valence Roman numeral is 5b, right? That means how many valence electrons does vanadium has?
5.
5, right? Now if you come back and look at it, or it can lose 5 valence electrons. That's what it really means, right? If you come back and look at it, you got 2, right? But then it can also lose this 3 here from the D. So this is what accounts for the 5 total.
Okay.
This is what.
So it doesn't matter if it's not a D or, I mean, a 3 or it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no. You mean
okay? That's what's confusing.
If it wants to lose 5, and the last orbital is a 4s, which only actually has 2, right? So it has to go back to the guy in front to look for the remainder 3. This is
okay.
So if you're seeking particular help on this particular concept when it comes to transition metals, I would definitely go to week 2, video 5. Okay. That video is specifically dedicated to elements in the transition metal, where there's going to be, I even did some difficult ones, like super difficult ones, that is probably down the row or further below.
Okay.
So the bottom line here is, first you want to write the incorrect sequence, fill it with electrons, and then you start to move things around, okay? Now I could go write this directly, but I don't expect people that are struggling to go and do that right off the bat. Chances are they are going to get it wrong.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, so that week 2 video 5 specifically targets transition metals that are even in, I did a 4th period now. I even done a 5th one and a 6th one.
Okay.
By the time you get to 6th period, the sequence gets a little longer. But I've worked 4 examples there, and I've explained where students go wrong as well in that video.
Okay.
All right. So that's how you do your transition metal electronic configuration. So I'm going to delete this. All right. Moving on. So let's take our pen and write question 3. The other 2 folks are currently not available. So it looks like, Diana, you're the only one that can ask questions. So do you have any other questions?
Well, you know, on this table too, when you have a 4F, if you have elements that you get the 4F, then you have the 5D, but there's no elements under the 4F.
No, no. There is a 5F, but then I don't think I'll ever test you that, because there are some unknown, unidentified elements. You see, UU kind of things. We don't ever, I will not test you there. We will, the most we will go to would be, I believe, let me get my periodic table. The most I would go would be to test you would be up to 6th period. I will not go below that, all right?
Okay.
I will not go below 6th period, because there are, I mean, things get, I mean, it's also the time, how much, I mean, I cannot definitely do like below on my in-seat classes because of time constraints.
Oh,
so the most I would go would be, I see your question. So what you're asking is, let's say you get to 6S, 4F, and then you go your 5D comes.
D.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You still have to fill this with 2, with this with 14, and say you're looking at, let me pick an element in the 6th period. Okay, let me pick an element in the 6th period. So let's say you're looking at osmium, okay?
Okay.
And the atomic number for osmium is
76.
76, right? So assuming you have done a bunch of other sequence in front, so you got 76 electrons, so you have to do the entire sequence, and then when you get to F14, and then you start sequencing them in the 3s with 3s, 4s with 4s, 5s with 5s, 6s with 6s. Okay, so ideally what you will have for this element is you would have 4s, 4p, 4d, and 4f in the sequence. If you did it right, you will have 2, 6, 10, 14. And then comes your 5s, 5p, 5d. Well, you will not, we're not going to 5f, so it's just going to be 6s. This is where it will stop.
Okay.
Okay, and then 2, 6, I believe 10, and I don't think it's 10. It's, see, that's why you don't want to fill. I know that 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe it's 8 valence total, so it has to be 6. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it must be. I'm guessing it's 3d6, 6s too. This is what you will have in the end. That's why I'm telling you to first fill it with electrons. Okay, and then go ahead and shuffle it.
Okay.
Okay, you must first do, you would have actually had this way. I mean, you have to first do the incorrect sequence, because if you do the correct sequence and add, I know that D cannot have 10, but people will make that mistake. So always do the incorrect sequence first, fill it with electrons, and then shift it. So you will never have that problem. Now, that's not how it's taught, really. It is taught in the direct format, which most students don't ever get, and they struggle. Okay? They don't teach you the incorrect sequence, add electrons, and then have you shuffle it. That's not how it's taught conventionally. It is taught directly with the correct sequence, and students always struggle with, oh, I thought you said D has to be 10, so I filled it with 10. No, because it does not have 10 to fill it with 10.
Okay, just because it's maximum.
With the idea that D has to be 10.
Right.
What they do
fill anything up to 10.
Yeah, and you would quickly realize that you have more electrons than you need.
Right, than needed.
Yeah, so you may end up with actually 80 electrons total, and you only need 76.
Okay.
Now, some students will go back and add every time. Okay, that's another thing. Always add your electrons, both in the incorrect sequence and the correct sequence. Or always add electrons in the correct and incorrect sequence, because things happen. So sometimes when you even shuffle, you could make a mistake. You may write a 3 as a 2. Always add electrons. So when you finished, so if you write the entire sequence, if I were to do this, it will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 3d10, and then comes this, right? Now let's see, let's add and see if we get 76 back. If not, we have a problem. So 10, 20, 28, 30, 36, 46, 60, 62, 68, 74, 76. See?
Okay.
And what's the Roman numeral for osmium, about osmium?
8.
8, right? So same thing, the last orbital only got 2, but then we have to include the orbital in the front to account for the 8.
6. Okay, 8. Okay, guess I'm just looking at them too much.
So now that's the entire sequence.
Okay.
I got it right, but because I know that in my mind, but I won't recommend anybody to. And then always write incorrect sequence first. Let me summarize it so that always write incorrect sequence first. It's not like it's incorrect, but that's the way our mind sees it. And then shuffle, fill, always write incorrect sequence first, fill electrons, shuffle, then write correct sequence. If you follow, this is foolproof, okay? It does not, to my knowledge, I've taught this to countless students. Once they get it, they've never got it wrong, period.
Okay.
I mean, this is foolproof. Absolutely right. Every single time, if you do this, you are going to get it right. It is just that simple.
Okay.
Now, that's how, now I hope I have answered your question why my electrons in the configuration doesn't match. Now, if you had not switched, then you would be having 6s2, 5, 4, some other random numbers, and you see that does not add up to 8, no matter how. Now, if you look at, if you strictly go by only my last orbital, no, we cannot ever get 8. You have to include the orbital in front to make it.
Okay.
Now, this is only for transition metals, okay?
All right.
This is only for transition metals where we have to include 2 different numbers and 2 different orbitals to make up the, but you will not have that problem with S and P elements or elements in the 3rd row. You will not have this problem. This is only, so again, V2 video 5 walks through all this. I think it's a long video of the bunch, but I did work out 4 different examples explaining how each of those 4 are quite different with each other.
Okay.
Highly recommend you watch that. Okay.
All right, I will.
All right. So, any other questions? So we're on question 4 now. I mean, I'm just writing it so people can keep track of how many questions these people brought up.
I think that was about the only thing I had, and on some of them I went back and checked, and I got them wrong because I didn't add right. You know, I got in a hurry and I did the incorrect sequence, but then when I had them right on that, but then when I wrote the right sequence, because I didn't.
That's what I meant by you double check your work. But again, you do have the luxury of, you know, doing the quiz, exam, and homeworks from home, so you have all your notes with you. But this is difficult for my in-seat people because they don't have that luxury. So I always tell them, don't waste time on an exam. Instead, if you just check your number of electrons, you save so much.
Right.
Now, keep in mind, I don't know, I'm not good at speaking, or I'm not good at, my handwriting is bad, but I'm very good at writing tests, okay? That is one thing I can boast with pride. I know my students, and I write the test knowing my students, and I know exactly where everyone goes wrong. So every question on the test has a few questions that target a specific audience.
Mm-hmm.
So when we write questions, you would notice that let's say this is choice A, B, C, D, E, okay? Easiest way to handle a multiple choice is to eliminate questions that are not the right answers. So if you say you have 5 different configurations for, say, vanadium, 23, there will be one question clearly that the electrons don't even add up to 23. So on the test, if you see me give 5 different configurations and have you pick one, the quick thing to do is to add all the superscripts. See if they add up to 23. They don't even add up. It can never be the right sequence, even if it looks like it's the right sequence. So that's how you sometimes save time, is to go eliminate wrong choices and then go for, you would normally be left with 2 that looks confusing, and that's how you go for the correct answer, okay?
Okay.
That's period. Every time you take any professional exam, 3 out of 5 choices would be clearly wrong. There's always only 2 that are in between that people go wrong. So if you see like a long configuration on a test in a multiple choice, simply add every single number at the top and see if they add up to the electrons you're supposed to have. If it doesn't, then no, even if it looks like it's the correct sequence, it is not wrong. It is not correct, okay?
Okay.
Now, let me see if you can do this right. Now, this is something, can you write, how good are you with writing electronic configuration for ions? Are you comfortable with that?
I am comfortable with that.
All right, let's see if you get this one right, because this question has seemed to have plagued people's mind. For some reason, when they come to this question, they just seem to lose it and not get it right. So it's MN4+. Can you write the electronic configuration for it? Even people that have just joined are probably not part of the video call. You can also try, but since you cut off your mute, I can hear you. But if you want to tell me when you're ready, you can do. All right? this question, particularly when I tested it, I think only two out of 20 people got it right. I don't know why. They were able to do other questions right, but for some reason they just can't do this one right. Let me go ahead and erase this little. It's too big for me. I like it. Again, same thing. First, you write incorrect sequence, fill it with electrons, shuffle, write the correct sequence, and then you start taking electrons. If you don't follow that sequence, I'm guessing that's probably why so many people are having difficulty with. This is not part of the homework or quiz, by the way. This is something I've tested with some students, and only 2 out of 20 people got this right. So clearly, I think what that tells me is that they still don't have a concrete understanding of the configuration itself. So do you have it now, Diana?
Yes, I do.
All right, let me go ahead and just erase this, get rid of this from the screen itself. I mean, it's all saved, so I don't want to have this in the way. All right. Are you going to give me the, can you give me the incorrect sequence first? Do you have it? All right.
Okay.
All right.
1s2.
Okay.
2s2.
Okay.
2p6.
Okay.
3s2.
Okay.
3p6.
Okay.
4s2.
Okay.
3d1.
Okay. Oh, you already taken the electrons?
Well, yeah, when I did it the first time, and then I put them in the
Here's
order.
what I want you to do. Give it to me without the electrons, because people are going to watch this. So I'm going to guess this would have been 3D5, right?
5 should have been. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give it to me that way, because so many people would watch this, and a lot of people would have that same problem. Okay.
Okay. I see.
So let's erase this, and I want you to give me like you would give it to me when you wrote. So this is correct, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna literally walk people through, and so they can ever have this problem. So this is the incorrect sequence, okay?
Okay.
Now this question without the ion could just be the electronic configuration on its own. So
Right.
this is the first step, all right? I'm gonna get a different color. Now give me the correct sequence.
Okay. 1s2.
Okay, hang on 1 second. Let me switch color.
Okay.
1s2.
Mm-hmm. 2s2.
Okay.
2p6.
Okay.
3s2.
Okay.
3p6.
Okay.
3d5.
Okay.
4s2.
Very good. All right. So this is the, see, if I had just add manganese, this would be the answer for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want people to see what I'm trying to say more visually. Then now we are going for Mn4 plus, right?
Right.
So get the final color. Now that's what I meant by first you write the incorrect sequence, then you shuffle, which is what you did, right?
Mm-hmm.
The 3D forward, 4S back, right? Now we are going to come back and write the correct sequence. And then this is your correct sequence. Now, this is where you take out electrons, okay?
Okay.
Why are we taking out electrons? Because it
has a positive charge.
Yeah, very good. It's cation, it's positively charged, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's exactly why we do take out electrons. Now let me go back and find maybe a different darker color. All right, so let's go to C. Now this is when, remember I said that you first go to the very, very last orbital.
Mm-hmm.
You want to lose a total of 4 electrons, right?
Right.
4 electrons, right? But the very outermost orbitals only got 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now you see why, Diana, what you gave me earlier had even a slightly, let's come back to it, okay? So we are going to take out 2 from this, right?
Right.
And then how many more do we have to lose to accommodate the 4? 2 more, right?
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
So that means we're going to lose 5 minus 2, right? That means we still have 3 here, right?
Right.
You see why what you gave me was also incorrect?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is precisely, your mind might say, yeah, I got this, but it is not that straightforward. So let's go to D. Now let's write everything back. This time I'll just write it out because obviously it is the 3D. So this is lost both electrons, right? So it's completely out of the picture. We don't write 4 as 0, okay?
Right.
Now this is the correct sequence. So we've lost 2, but we still got 3. Now this is not what you gave me, remember?
Right.
Now you see why I emphasize follow the sequence, okay? This is not spoon feeding, but this is the way students can see it happen.
Okay.
They do it directly off a correct sequence. They're so lost because they don't know how it got to 3D3, okay?
Right.
This is the way you do it. So now this is not exactly what you gave me. You gave me 3P6 3D1. That's not what I have here, right?
Right.
Let me circle it so people can see it. That's why I had you do this completely with me in sequence. Now you see, I went through systematically. Now you may have one problem on the test on this topic. So spend all the time you can, you know. Spend all the time on one question. So do it thoroughly from A, B, C, C.
Okay.
If you do this sequence, more likely you are not going to get this wrong. As I said, when I did the electronic configuration, this is a foolproof method, okay? There is no going wrong. There is no exception to the method I'm teaching you, okay?
Okay.
It would give you correct answer every single time. And you look it up, you're going to get it right every single time. There is no going wrong with this method I'm teaching you. Now, this is not how it's taught. How it's taught is directly here. Step B is taught directly. Students can't see it. That's a huge leap for them to go from Mn to Mn4+. They just can't visually move electrons, or mentally they cannot start moving electrons from orbitals without having them write it down. And if they follow, they say there's only one question on the test or quiz based on this topic, you've got plenty of time. My tests always have more time, and the question that the time you need to solve the test is always less than the time I give you. That's the way all my tests are written, okay? My in-seat people have 2 hours to take a 1-hour exam. That's how my exams are written. People have more time to actually take one test than conventionally. If it's an hour class, the test is hour long. But I always give students 2 hours to take a 1-hour test. So you've got time in your hands, which is a gift. So I wouldn't even cut short. I would go through the sequence. So this is the correct. Does that make sense?
One question.
Yes.
So with that Mn being under having the 7 electrons at the end.
Yes.
So in the natural state, it would have the 7 without you having to do anything to it.
Yes, that is correct. So that's what I said. This question could be asked 2 different ways. If I had just asked manganese, you would stop at B and be done.
Right.
But
Okay.
if it's manganese 4+, then you go the step next.
Okay.
So here's what I want you to do. I'm going to delete this off the screen. I'm going to give you one more element with a different configuration. Okay. So solve PD2+ for me. Write the complete electronic configuration, and when you give your answer to me, you're going to walk me through the sequence A, B, C, D. Okay.
Okay.
That's the way I want you to solve it in the first place. I don't want you to even do this just, directly cutting shortcuts. You may get it right once, but you're going to get it wrong the second time when it matters the most. So just like how you saw on the previous screen, I want you to tackle it A, B, C, D, and then give me all A, B, C, D steps, because you're helping your peers that didn't make it to your session today. And they can just watch this and be able to do this.
P. S. So it has 46 electrons and 46. So you ready? You want me to start now?
You ready?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I haven't put all the numbers. You want me to put the numbers on there?
Yes, I want everything just the way you saw on the previous screen.
Okay.
Like the incorrect sequence with numbers, correct sequence with numbers, and then how many electrons you're going to use.
Okay.
And then give me the correct answer for that problem. When you're ready, don't worry that we still got time in this session. So just tell me when you're ready. We can do it just when you're ready. Hi, Lowell.
Hey, I don't know. I've been having technical problems.
But have you been catching up? I know I can't see you on video, but have you been catching up?
I'm trying. I somehow this week I have
gotten. It's okay. I am recording this whole session.
Okay. So no, I've been on the whole time. You couldn't see me.
Okay.
And I couldn't.
All right. Here's what I have given Diana to work on is I want you to write the electronic configuration for Palladium 2+. This is the current assignment that's going on since you just hopped on the screen. So here's what I want you to do, okay? Write the incorrect sequence for the ground state element first, and then write the correct sequence by shuffling, and then write the electronic configuration for the ion, okay? Or if you're still working, Diana's been working for a while now. So I think when you give us the answer, you can kind of get the idea of how to do this, right?
Okay, I don't know what's going on. Samantha's on here too, but she has hers muted.
Yes.
Because her daughter's sick.
There's 3 more of you too available. That's pretty good. There's more participants this time than last time. Lowell. Can you write me just the electronic configuration of PD first, the incorrect sequence, and then we can shuffle it? Can you do that?
Okay, it's, let's see, 1s2.
Are you ready, Diana?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right.
Diana's whizzing through this. I'm impressed. See, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6.
No. Write it down on your paper, okay? And then when she gives us the answer, you can verify whether she's saying it right or wrong, okay?
Okay.
Because I can't write everybody's answers here because of the screen space that's available. Are you ready, Diana?
Yes.
All right, give me the incorrect sequence for palladium first.
Okay, the incorrect sequence is 1s2.
Okay.
2s2.
Okay.
2p6.
Okay.
3s2.
Okay.
3p6.
Okay.
4s2.
Okay.
3d10.
Okay.
4p6.
Okay.
5s2.
Okay.
4d8.
Excellent work. I'm very impressed. I'm not even looking at the table, but this is correct. As far as what I'm saying is you have a correct, incorrect sequence, okay? That's very good. Well, job well done. All right, now give me the correct sequence. What are we doing? What we are shuffling a bunch here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what are we shuffling? Let me see We're moving the 4D here.
4D8
the
to
5S
the
here.
5S at the end.
Yeah, and then we're moving the 3D.
The 3D over to the 4S and
over here.
4S. Right.
That's pretty much it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now give me the correct sequence for palladium.
1S2,
Okay.
2S2,
Okay.
2P6,
Okay.
3S2,
Okay.
3P6,
Okay.
3D10,
Okay.
4S2,
Okay.
4P6,
Okay.
4D8,
Okay.
5S2.
Now give me the Roman numeral for palladium.
It's 8.
8, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means we have to lose the 2 here, and then if we have to lose the 6, then we lose from the 4D. Okay, that's what it means. Okay. All right. Now, how many electrons are we going to lose if we are going to make PD 2+?
2.
Okay, we are going to lose 2 electrons, right? Right?
Right.
All right. Now give me the final and correct sequence for palladium.
Okay. 1S2,
Okay.
2S2,
Okay.
2P6,
Okay.
3S2,
Okay.
3P6,
Okay.
3D10,
Okay.
4S2,
Okay.
4P6,
Okay.
4D8.
Very good. What have we done is to make palladium 2+, we got to lose 2 electrons, right? And you got to go to the correct sequence to do that. And this is the way I want you to attempt this problem. So you have to lose 2 so that orbital becomes empty, so we can no longer include it in our sequence. And this is the correct answer.
Okay.
Now, for people that have not given me, since Diana's done the hard work here, I want you all to try palladium 4+ for me. You don't need to do it because you have it in front of you. Just give me the, you got to go back to the correct sequence again. You can do it off of the correct answer, but I don't want you to do that. I want you to give me the electronic configuration of, this is for palladium 2+. I want you to give me the configuration for palladium 4+. Imagine this was not there. D was not there. How would you do palladium 4+? Anybody can answer this one because Diana's done the hard work, gave us A, B, C, D. That's correct, Diana.
Thank you.
For this one, you got it spot on. Give you all a minute to think. I mean, we have the answer in front of us. We just have to get rid of 4 electrons. You always have to go to the full correct sequence to take out electrons. You don't want to take out, sometimes you make mistakes if you take it out of incorrect sequence. Lowell, do you have the answer for me?
Well, I mean, I'll just tell you what I'm trying to figure it out, but you would still be able to lose the 5s2.
Yes, that is correct.
And so then you'd have to take 2 from your 4D, correct? So
that is correct. So what would your sequence be then?
It would be 1s2, 2s2,
okay.
2p6.
Okay.
3s2.
Okay.
3p6.
Okay.
3d10.
Okay.
4s2.
Okay.
6p6.
Okay.
4d6.
Very good. That is the answer.
Oh, praise the Lord. All right.
Now, since you lost feed, but you'll probably get this information when you go back watch the whole session. I want you to follow just like how Diana did. Okay, that's how I taught Diana. Okay, you want to go write the ground state configuration for that element first without the charge. Write the incorrect sequence, shuffle, get the correct sequence, and then write down how many are you going to lose. Like for your own sake, right? Okay, if it is 2 plus, I lose 2. If it's 4 plus, I lose 4. And then you go write the correct answer.
Okay.
If you do this process systematically, you will not ever get this question wrong on the test. I can guarantee that, because there is no loopholes on this method. It is going to give you foolproof answer every single time.
Okay, so this is the electron configuration for the ions, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So the top one was for PD2 plus and the bottom one was PD4 plus. I've done just two. I've just done a garden variety there so people can get an idea on how things work. But the most important thing is I don't want you to go write the configuration directly for PD2 plus straight off the bat. Guess what? You tell us, Diana, what happened if you try to do it directly?
You get your numbers mixed up.
Yes. Okay. I don't want you to even try that. I mean, you guys are taking the exam from home, so you've got more time to do it, or a quiz or homework. So take your time with a single question, approach it systematically in this format. The chances of you getting it wrong is slim to none. Let me tell you that. There is no exception to this method I'm teaching you. This is not how it's taught conventionally. Conventionally, professors go to step D directly, which is a huge leap for students because they don't even know first how to write correct configurations. For them to remove 2 electrons mentally out of a periodic table that is sitting in front of them, that's like a huge leap. Second, the way I have given those periodic sequence image, that file that says how the sequence proceeds, that's a method I have developed so that people taking the same class elsewhere will have an alternate generic image that's much more confusing for students to imagine how this goes. The way I have developed that periodic table sequence is much more tenable and easy to get. So since you have that image with you, since you're an online person and you've got time in your hand, I wouldn't rush through. There may be one question on the entire exam that asks you to write a configuration for a positive ion, right? Now that I have you, I've explained this, I'm going to delete whatever's on the screen, and I want you to write the electronic configuration for this ion. This is what I want you to end up with, but I won't start directly. And this is a pop quiz for all of you. I'll give you exactly 5 minutes starting now. I want you to, whoever's ready can give me the answer, but I want you to give me A, B, C, D, all 4 steps. While I have you all here, I'll make this announcement. I will not be including homework 1 or quiz 1 as part of your grade, okay? However, what I will do is I will keep those points, and then if you're running out of points in the end for a specific grade, I will add those points, okay?
Okay.
Let's say you need 10 points to go from an A to a B, sorry, B to an A. Then I will give you 10 points from the reserved grade into those, so you will get your A. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So starting homework 2, quiz 2, everything will count towards your grade, but homework 1 and quiz 1 will be excluded from your grade. It won't be part of your grade. And if you see other columns on the grade list, that's from the generic course that they created. Don't even worry about it, okay? Keep track of only the grades that you are working on, okay? I didn't want to go delete those columns in the grade book because that is generically created by somebody else. I don't want to disturb theirs. So you only have to focus on the grades that I give you, okay? There may be several columns in the grade book. I don't know if you guys are seeing it. Do you see it? Like, you see any extra columns of items in the grade book? No?
I haven't.
Okay. I tried to hide them, but if you see it, don't panic. It's not a big deal. Honestly, it's from the generic course they've created. I try to hide as much of them as possible. So let me make it clear. Quiz 1 and homework 1 does not count towards your grade. However, I will grade your homework on questions that are applicable to week 1 and give you those points back and comments on those next week sometime. But I will reserve those points for the rainy day in the end. So let's say you're 10 points short of a better grade. You can use those 10 points from that homework or quiz to go to a better grade. And again, that's my mistake that those two questions, that homework got contaminated with week 2 material. So I have to accept the responsibility for it. And the only way I can accept it without causing too much hardship is to exclude your homework and quiz from the grade book. Okay? But you can still save those points, and I will only give you points that's needed to get a better grade. I will not give all the points out of it because technically it's excluded from the grade. Let's say you need 2 points to go from B to an A. You can take 2 points of that and go to the grade. Okay? You cannot use, let's say there's 20 points total available. You cannot use it, all of it every time. You can only use the points that's needed when I calculate your final grade.
Okay.
5 points to get a better grade, you can use the 5 points. You cannot use all 20 to go to a better A. I mean, there's no better A. There's only A, B, C, D. So you can only use select points because technically that assignment is excluded. So you don't, it's basically you've not done the homework. But you may ask me, the reason I'm giving that points option is, then why did you make us do that and still spend the time? I want you to feel a little bit more better about it. When I tell you I give some points out of it, that's why I'm doing it. Okay? But I will give you comments. The quiz is already graded, so you should be seeing your points. I'm not going to give you that. But the homework, I will send each of you separate emails on which questions from week 1 applicable to week 1 you got wrong. I'm not going to grade the entire homework because some of those questions you probably noticed now were in week 2, right?
Yeah.
Right? Some of the questions you saw on the week 1 homework, now you see, oh, I'm doing it now. I can do it now because technically it should have been in the right week. That's the problem.
Okay.
All right. Who has me the answer for P3 minus?
You got the answer?
Yeah, just give me, give me the incorrect sequence for phosphorus first.
Okay, the incorrect.
All right.
1s2.
All right, hang on, Diana. Let me get my pen.
Okay.
I had it set down. Okay. All right. Correct. This is for ground state phosphorus, not P3 minus. All right, guys, Diana, go ahead.
1s2.
Okay.
2s2.
Okay.
2p6.
Okay.
3s2.
Okay.
3p3.
Okay. Very good. This is the incorrect sequence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me write. You can do exactly even the way I'm doing it. I think eventually you will get it. All right. So let's go get the correct sequence for ground state phosphorus. You ready, Diana?
Yes, I am.
All right.
1s2.
Okay.
2s2.
Okay.
2p6.
Okay.
3s2.
All right. So this is the, oh, why did you take out the 3? Oh, you missed the.
Because
it is the same. In this case, there's no
it's a plus. I looked, okay, it is the same.
It is the same, right?
Right.
This is ground state, okay?
Right.
Now,
so minus stays the same.
Yeah. So typically, if you're in the 3rd row, there's no need to shuffle. You only need to start to shuffle when you get into 4th, 5th, and 6th row. Okay. So the correct and incorrect sequence are essentially the same, but since we're doing it in the format, we're going to do it that same way. Okay. Now, how many electrons is it going to gain or lose? Let's ask that question.
3.
It's going to gain or lose?
It's going to gain.
Okay, gain 3 electrons because it is negative,
minus.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Then anion and it's going to be negatively charged. All right, let's go get a different color and wrap this up with the final answer. So where do we add the 3 electrons? Can we add it anywhere we like in the sequence?
No.
No.
Go back to the correct sequence. This is what you work with from now onwards. Whether you add, remove, whatever you do, you work off of this. So where do we add that 3 electrons?
On the 3p.
Very good. So can you give me the final answer?
1s2.
Okay.
2s2.
Okay.
2p6.
Okay.
3s2.
Okay.
And 3p6.
Very good. That is the correct answer. You follow this systematically, you will not ever get this type of question wrong. I can guarantee that. Now, if you don't understand it despite that, that's a different story. But if you understood it and you follow the sequence, then you will not get it wrong. It's what I meant.
Okay.
All right. Now, the last thing I want to focus is also another area that I'm not saying you all struggle, but some people do struggle, is atomic size. And I am not going to give you a specific problem from the homework, but I will give you a pop quiz first, just to see how much most of you watched the videos and understood. You must watch every video more than once, because chemistry is not that easy. Like a cooking video, you get it off the first attempt. It is sometimes you may have to go watch some video more than once, some video just once. It's up to you how you get it. All right, I'm going to give you a pop quiz. So this will be question 5 for the day. I'm going to write a bunch of ions, and I want you to sort them from the smallest to the largest. So aluminum 3+, calcium 2+, silicon 4+, in Mg 2+, titanium, Diana, not steel, okay?
Yeah, okay.
2+, and scandium 1+, and copper 2+. And let me give you one more. I think I've given everything. All right, these are the ions I want you to work with, and we're dealing with atomic size and R radius, whichever term you want to call. I want you to put it from the smallest to the largest. Again, I wouldn't directly put anything in the sequence. I would first draw a rough sketch of where everybody else is. So smallest, largest. I think if we complete this question, then we're pretty much done with. So how many do I have? 3, 6, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you're going from the smallest size to the largest size. I'll give you all 5 minutes. Even if you have incorrect sequence, just go ahead and tell me whatever sequence you have, and then we'll work, because I got to know what you know before I can tell you what is the right answer. All right, 5 minutes starting now at 6:14, so I'll come back and get you at 6:19. I'm gonna just jump up and get some water. I'm getting thirsty, so I'll be back.
Creases across the table. Creases across the table. Creases across.
If you're looking for the specific concept, it's week 2, video 8. 9. If you're looking for later where to find concepts related to this, I believe it's shared between week 2.
Okay.
I've worked a lot of examples, video 8 and 9. It's shared between this part of it, completely 8 and then a little bit of 9. This is where I have taught this particular concept, and I think there's a couple of questions on the homework for this. And while you're doing that, I'm going to draw a bunch of balloons here. All right, does anybody have a sequence? Even if you have it wrong, it's okay. Give it to me so that I can explain the concept, and then we can come back and rewrite this one more time.
I'm voting on Diana.
You ready, Diana?
I'm ready.
Don't feel bad. Just give it to me, and then, you know, it's not like you're going to get everything wrong. You may only have 1 or 2 things wrong in the sequence.
Okay, I'm going to work with it then. I got
right.
GA 3+.
You're saying from the smallest?
Uh-huh.
All right. How about I give you all 1 more minute, okay? And then look at the balloons below, see what you can make sense of. Because you started with a gallium 3+, that tells me that you have your sequence wrong, okay? I don't need to even hear it fully. It's probably wrong. Look at the balloons, okay? What can you make out of it? Think like a normal person, okay? Don't think like a scientist, or don't think like you're in a chemistry class. What can you say about the 3 balloons with their respective charges at the top? What can you say about the 3 balloons with +1, +2, +3? Are the balloons getting bigger or smaller?
Smaller.
Okay.
They're getting smaller.
Okay, and then what about the 3 balloons with the 3 negatives? 1, 2, 3. Is it getting bigger or smaller?
They get bigger.
Okay. Now, when you apply size, before you apply the rule, you've got to first apply the charge first. Okay, I think I explained this. That's why I told you when you watch week 8 and 9, video 8 is about elements in the ground state. Video 9 is about elements with charges, okay, ions. All right. Now, irrespective of where these elements are in the sequence, in the periodic table, okay, the one with the most positive charge is going to be the smallest. How about let's add one more to make things a little difficult for you here. Let's add Mn4 plus in the list. Don't mind adding, please. Add Mn4 plus to your list, okay? Because I want to cover this entire concept in one go, okay? Irrespective of where the element is on the periodic table, the most positive charge is going to be the smallest, okay? You cannot apply the rule of atomic size yet, okay? I'm going to write the rule also in just a minute. Let me write the rule here in the box, so please pay attention to that, and then we're going to start explaining the actual concept. So rule is atomic radius, AR, increases top to bottom. This is the opposite of ionization energy. Atomic radius decreases from left to right. Due to space constraint, I'm writing it as acronyms. It is your job to go back and expand it. But it's all in the video. In the video, it's written in full sentences, not in acronyms. All right? Before you apply the rule, when you deal with ions, first you've got to see which ones have the most positive charge. Can you all tell me which 2 ions have the most positive charge? They're going to be the smallest. Which
Si and Mn.
All right, let's go underline that. Let me get my pen. I do want to have a different color there so I can identify what I'm talking. Because you want to see what I'm seeing, then. All right, let me go get my red, I think, or black. Something that pops up. This and these are the 2 with the positive charge, right? They're going to be the smallest. Look at the balloons. As positive charge is losing electrons, right? It's like losing air from a balloon. The more air you lose, the smaller your balloon is going to be. Negative charge is like gaining electrons. So as you put more and more air into the balloon, more and more bigger it's going to be. It is just that simple, okay? Now we have 2 candidates for the smallest size. Now we have to apply the rule to figure out who gets the smallest size spot, okay? All right, now go apply the rule. Where is silicon with respect to magnesium? Sorry, manganese. Is it above?
It's above it. It's above it.
So silicon's above, right? So is silicon 4 plus smaller, or is it manganese 4 plus smaller?
Increases top to bottom. Manganese is 4 plus smaller.
Very good, Diana. That is it.
Because it's below it.
Yes.
Okay.
Now let's go get all our 3s. This is how I have taught my in-seat. This is how I explained in the video. But let's go get all our 3 plus 1s. 1, 2, I think there's only 2, right?
2.
Now, well, we know that 3 plus is slightly bigger than the 4 pluses, but within those, where is gallium with respect to aluminum? Is it below or above or left or right?
Below.
Okay, so which one is bigger of the 2, aluminum or gallium?
Aluminum.
No, aluminum is above gallium, right?
Right.
Increases top to bottom.
Yeah, so gallium is below aluminum.
Below
right?
aluminum, right.
So gallium would be smaller, right? So gallium would be bigger than aluminum, right?
Right.
And I don't think you got it. It's top to bottom, right?
Top to bottom increases, right.
Gallium is below aluminum, right?
Right, it's below.
So it's got to be slightly bigger than aluminum, right? Very good. We're finished with the 2. Now let's go get the plus 2s. This is how I taught in the video. You got to tackle each one with different colors. People in my seat actually bring different color pencils to class and actually do it the same way.
Okay.
But you guys may have to do the same because, all right, so this is your calcium. All right, let me get my eraser because I don't really like the black trailing again. So let's get orange perhaps. All right, so this is my calcium is one of them, right?
Right.
And then magnesium, I got titanium and copper. So there's 4 candidates that are all in, I think I like the pink better because you can see it. These are the 4 candidates that all have pluses, right? Plus 2s. They're all bigger than the plus 3s and plus 4s. Now we have to sort them within their pile, right?
Right.
Pick one element and anchor them. Okay, out of the 4, which one is at the top most? Calcium, magnesium, copper, and titanium. Which one is at the top, or is there anything at the top at all? Or they're all in the same row?
Same row.
See, that's, I know, I designed this question keeping you guys in mind.
Magnesium's above.
Right?
Yeah.
So is calcium, which one is above all 4?
Magnesium.
Magnesium, right? So right away we know who gets the topmost spot for big size among the 4, right? Gets the big spot, magnesium, right? Right? I still may have to extend my, let me erase this large size here so it's not going to be, we may have to add a couple more spots, but that's not our concern right now. All right, so magnesium is done, right? Because it's above the reminders, right? So it is the biggest of the 4 things, right? Now we have 3 left, calcium, titanium, and copper. They all have plus 2. Where are they located with respect to each other? They're all in the same row, I believe.
Right.
Okay, and which one? And we know from left to right, atomic size decreases, right? So is copper going to be the smallest or calcium going to be the smallest?
Decreases left to right.
Copper is going to be the smallest.
Very good, Diana. And magnesium is in between the 2, right? So magnesium, sorry, titanium is in between.
Titanium's in between.
And then calcium is over here, right? Okay, let's go get our black and fill the remainder. I think there's only 1 left, right? And that would be this, right? It takes the default spot because there's only 1 left.
That's SC.
Yes, C plus, right? Now, again, the one with the smallest charge, irrespective of where it is, will be the biggest.
Okay.
That's how you do this question.
Whew.
This is how I explained it in the video 9, I believe. Or it may run a little bit into video 10 as well. But this concept took a lot more time, like video 8, 9, than the remainder of them because they're much easier to work with.
Okay.
This is exactly how I can give you time if you want to copy it, but again, it's also saved. So this is where I want to finish our session. So it will be, I've recorded it. I will upload it to Moodle. So while we have this sitting in front of us, if I give you, say, the same thing, where would you be stuck? Where would be, for most students, the issue with chemistry is the starting point. Where do I start? Okay? If you see yourself in that shoes, where do you think you would struggle? If I ask the same question like 2 days from now, where would you struggle to complete the question? Now, what I have is correct. I can guarantee that. But if you can't do it, where do you think that problem would be? Where would you struggle?
Probably looking at that table, making sure I get the top to bottom right and the left to right.
Me too.
Okay. I get now, you don't need to worry about because you guys are doing it from home. You're not in seat. So you can write this note somewhere where you always have it with you.
Right.
So, okay, that's your starting point. All right, let's say you have the rule in front of you. But when you deal with ions, before you apply the rule, you got to group ions into their respective charges first with different colors or different ways, maybe a box, triangle, square, however you want to do it. Some people like colors. For some people, colors are crowded, so they use triangles to group all the threes together, fours together, ones together, twos together. You got to group them. You see, I put different colors: purple, green, black, and red. I grouped them first before I even applied the rule to any of each individual groups. Right? These are red. Let me get my red again so I can put those also in red so you can see it. These two are 3 pluses. The pinks are all make +2s. The blacks are +4s, and the green is +1. You gotta first group ions into their own respective groups, and then you sort within the group, and then you can put them all together as a big pile. And that's exactly what I have done. Okay. And hopefully you can draw the balloons. Okay, so that would give you some idea on, generally speaking, for ions, before you even apply the rule, you got to know the one with the most positive charge is going to be the smallest, and the one with the most negative charge is going to be the largest. All right, before I close the account, I'm going to give you all electronegativity, and electronegativity is same as ionization energy as far as the rule goes, but typically I will give you some ions. You can work it out and let me know if you have, email me what your sequence is later. You don't need to do that tonight. I'm going to give you a bunch of ions. I want you to sort these, hang on a second. It's not electronegativity, sorry, it's still atomic size, but I want you to sort it from smallest to largest, this time for an ion. Atomic size / radius. You can work on it and send me your correct email sequence so I know that you got this concept. And all these are 1 minus. When I don't say what number it is. Right. You're still going to apply the balloon rule first, and then you're going to apply the rule for atomic size. And you're going to sort it from the smallest to the largest. When you have the correct sequence, email me. I can tell you if you got it right or wrong. There's 3, 6, 7 spots. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if you watch this video, I've literally walked you through on several areas of homework 2. Pretty much, I think I have covered every question possible. Okay, not necessarily the same exact replica question, but atomic size. So this is what I want you to solve. Like, it's a sample quiz. And when you have the correct sequence, email me and I can tell you if you got it right or wrong. And we'll go from there, all right?
Okay.
Well, it's a pleasure seeing you all.
Thank you.
Take care, and I'm going to stop recording now, and I'll see you hopefully next Saturday.
Okay.
Okay,
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.